This internet cringe is literally causing me to rot, to fall apart, and die. I'm just gonna call this video SENGOKU, the warring states period. King of Pole versus Gator. Now, my children, I can't believe I have to do this, that Godwinson has to snake so goddamn much, that Godwinson has to be such a low-life piece of shit, that I have to come out and say that King of Pole is righteous, that King of Pole is doing God's work by confronting Gator about the crimes he's committed, not only against me, but against the Sektoru itself. And it fucking pains me that I have to do this, but no one else is going to do this. No one else gives a shit. But Brian is doing the right thing and holding Gator to the fire. Because someone's got to do it. I don't think Gator would ever talk to me. I don't think his handlers would ever allow me to speak to Gator. We tweeted a bit, and I told him I would forgive him if he confessed to me and sincerely apologized. And that is still on the table, Gator. If you confess your sins, you denied it in front of me. You denied it to me that you in no way had any part of my harassment at the hands of Mr. Vickers. But as we all know, Gator, Cog, Christorian X, that's the main three. There were other E-celebs that were bought off and certainly cheered on because they received money. But that's sort of the main three that did the most cheering and encouragement of trying to silence me, my children knew. And you may be wondering, who cares, right, if this naked samurai gets silenced? I mean, realistically, there are other YouTube channels, right? Well, my children, if I was like Mr. Deadman and I gave in to the pressure, if I just caved in, maybe you all would have got doxxed. And every time you made a joke at the coin merchant's expense, you would have had papers and lawyers coming to your homes. But luckily, I did not back down. I knew that this wasn't just about me and my petty problems. This was about defending your right to shitpost, which is in fact a human right and one of the highest human rights, the right to shitpost. And that's what this is about. This isn't about Brian Dunn spurging out at another autistic person. This is about your right to shitpost. Because if Gator had it his way, you would all be in an internment camp and tortured to death for saying things he doesn't like. Because when Christorian X came to him, when Mr. Vickers came to him with these fucking crazy harebrained ideas of harassing people, trying to intimidate them out of shit posting, Gator did not say, oh my god, as a conservacuck, this is free speech, this is horrible, people should be allowed to say things. He said, this is great, we need to silence everyone that will make fun of me. And he deserves to be held accountable for that. Now, personally, I would have gone about it in a different way. I'm a samurai, so I have honor, so I wouldn't have necessarily brought up who, Gator's second cousin and what they might do. And I don't really care about Bry's dad, because we're dealing with the man himself. We're dealing with men themselves and what they do. Who cares what their second aunt's cousin's older sister did? Because what they've done is enough. I love all the drama, all the people fighting each other for no reason. I do enjoy that. But sometimes I think that we need to understand when there's a potential for an existential threat to our ability to shitpost, that we do need to band together and attack Gator, for example, or Cog. Those people who want our way of life, our shit posting way of life to end. I think that's reasonable. And then we can go back to calling Brian gay. Then we can go back. Godwinson snaked King of Pole and denied Gator ever did anything wrong, which is just bizarre. I don't know why he felt the need to do this other than just to fuck you, the viewer, over. Because he spurged out about Gator for weeks, months, maybe even years at this point. And then on the way out, you know, when he leaves the internet forever, he has to just completely protect Daddy Vickers once again. Because that's really all Godwinson has ever done, is he introduces someone, he shit talks them, and then he protects them and makes sure that they can still wreak havoc in the sector. And we have a lovely person on Twitter that sent me a list of everyone who is involved in trying to gay off me. And I guess bravo, you made the list. It was Zanny Berries, Augusto Keenashay, Pod Awful, apparently, Cringe Mama, Historian X, there was Atomic Denny, Medicare Fembot and her male counterpart, his male counterpart, both of the roleplay accounts. And those are the main ones that I can think of off the top of my head. There are accounts that have like commented underneath my banger tweets saying something like you're gay or something really clever like that. And I've never really paid much attention to it. Here's a fun fact though about Medicare Fembot. Medicare Fembot was so upset that I outed him as a man and I talked about it freely that he had the police show up to my mommy and daddy's house because he made a fake account on the Medicare.us whatever gay website and then gave that fake IP address where I don't live to the police. So my advice would be never to use that website because she'll just turn you over to the police. The old man LARPing as a Asian woman will get in one of her schizo-hormonal moods and try to turn you over to the police. And as you can see, that also failed. And I am again innocent. That's the thing you have to know about these cabals of people that care enough about cartoon samurais that talk into the camera. They care enough about these sort of things. They know it is wrong what they're doing. They know what they're doing is evil and pathetic and cowardly. That they have to hide. They have to hide in secret. They have to use these alternative websites like Chudbuds or Lolly.con or whatever the hell they like to use. Because they know if they ever got caught out in the open, that it would be it for them. Because what they're doing is evil and perverse and wrong. And they hate people like me that operate out in the open and say what I feel and say what I think. They can't handle it. I'm literally dying for you. It all comes back to having honor. My children knew. You don't need to have secret groups where you plan things. You need to just act. You need to go up and you need to say what is right and do what is right. Say the truth. The lies will weigh you down and make you more miserable than whoever you're trying to A-log. Gator is 100% more miserable than Ethan Ralph or I or anyone else that he tries to A-log. I had a conversation with Mundane Matt, known grifter Mundane Matt, when I criticized him for trying to make money on hosting the King of Pole Gator debate because his time is, quote, too valuable to just stream it for free. Now, King of Pole's stipulations were autistic, and gay. But I understood what he was trying to do, and having principles is better than being a sad Uber driver. And no one is more sad and pathetic than monetized Matt. He lies constantly. His entire life is a house of lies. It is a prison that he's created for himself. He tells me that he's much better than me and more happy because he owns a house, he has a successful business, beautiful children, everything you could want. He's so happy, and yet he's willing to argue with me for hours. That's what lies does to you, my children. That's what a lie can do to your very soul. It warps it, and it makes you sad and bitter. Because at the end of the day, you know in your heart, in your mind, in your eye, that it's not true. You cannot lie to yourself, my children do. You cannot lie to yourself. At the end of the day, when you close your eyes and go to bed, you know what's a lie and what's the truth. It's much better to be on the side of the truth than on the side of lies.